What up guys, welcome back to the channel, and today we're going to talk about my 5-year-old wrap on the vehicle. Let's get into it. Let's jump into it and talk about the wrap and how it's holding up over the 5 years since I had the car wrapped initially. I was hoping that today would be nice and bright, but it's very cloudy and we've been having countless days of being cloudy and not that much sun out. So I was like, F it, let's just go ahead and go over the wrap and show everybody how this wrap is holding up. And if you do a good job, you use the right product, it'll last you and it'll look beautiful, just like this thing. Before we can jump in talking about the wrap, can we just admire the front fitment that's going on right now? So I put my old fronts back on just to move the car because my other fronts got sold, obviously, and I have new ones. They're on the way. And I just love how this looks right here. Just, God, the poke, the camber, it just looks perfect. So when I install the new wheels, hopefully I can achieve this type of look. I'm maintaining all the functionality and stuff that I need for my front end suspension, so it doesn't give me no headache, right? But let's jump into the wrap and let's go ahead and talk about it, right? So what you see here is your HEXIS wrap. It's like the satin glitter wrap. That's why I wanted it to be sunny outside, so I can show you all the flake and all the glitter that's in the wrap, because when the sun hits it, man, it just pops. But like I stated before, you want to start off with a good brand. Don't cheap out and get something cheap, because it won't last you. 2, it won't apply good, and 3, you'll be frustrated the whole time applying the wrap because the wrap is not good quality, right? So get yourself a good wrap, 3M, Ivory, Avery, whatever it's called, HEXIS, Tech Wrap, good brands, right? Then you won't have no issues. So get you some good wrap. Overall, looking at the car, looks in great condition, right? They always say, oh, it looks good 10 feet, 5 feet away, but to be honest with you, my car looks hella good 2 feet away. Obviously, there's some areas in the wrap that could have been done better. There's also areas in the wrap that got beat up from drifting and driving on the street for those 5 years. But yeah, this is what you see right here. Has been done. I think I had it installed, meaning I installed it about April 2017, so that's about like 5 years ago, and it's held up the whole time. You can see there's no fading or anything in the wrap at all. I did replace the roof once just because I had some stuff that got stained on the roof, so this is a little newer, but not by much. But this self, everything's good. While we're looking at the hood, let's go ahead and start with the hood. Obviously, I wrapped this product over this hood. I had a carbon fiber hood, and I cut this section out of the hood. Now, if you look at it, you would think over time that maybe it'll start pulling up in these areas, but especially around the corners, but you don't see any of that, right? It's pretty straight. I did this freehand with like a razor blade, messed up a couple times right there, but and then they cut it straight. None of it's pulling up in this area. That's why it's good to do your post heat on the vinyl, so it activates that adhesive in the back. But yeah, and that area is all straight, everything's good. The corners look good if you can open it. I'm gonna show y'all a little trick too. I'm gonna tell y'all a little trick what I use where a lot of the edges don't come up, and I think taking this extra step helps out. All right, hello beauty. Anyway, so as you see, the wrap comes on the other side here, and it's wrapped all around the corner, the edges. None of it's coming up on any of it, as you can see. Obviously, my knife job wasn't the best. It's not the straightest, but on the next wrap, I'll get a little better at it. But I don't know if y'all can see right here. If you can see on the vinyl itself, I have an extra protective layer of tape. This is a 3M product that they use to attach at the back of your vinyl to give it extra strength or extra protection of peeling back. I did this because this vehicle is going to see a lot of action on the track, and I didn't know all that extra wear and tear and all the abuse, rocks, chips coming up. Certain areas I used that 3M tape, so mainly around all the edges I used it. The main area, the door area, I'll show you that again over there, and then a couple places in the fender that I used it. But anywhere I could use it, I used it. I just took that extra step with that product, and you don't have no issues like that. One area that tends to see a lot of problem come up and peel up is around the corners. You can see both mine. Now I do have some rough edges right here because I took off the hood when I was doing the rod swap and the engine. I put the hood on the ground and it kind of like scuffed it all up, messed it up. But as you see, it's not pilling anywhere in the back. Not even on my fender. The fender has been on the ground too, so that's why you see some areas all like roughed up. But each one of those, they're really good. Some areas that I had some trouble with was on the front bumper. Now around this headlight, I wanted to use this accent and with the color with another black, and you can see it tell in like these corner areas they came up. I'm assuming that I overstretched it right here and I didn't like lay it in and then use some post heat to heat it and let it sit, and that's why it came up. So we'll work on that for the next one. But I did cut the wrap in sections, right in the front bumper. The first time I did this front bumper, I wrapped it all in one piece and it came out like shit. So I decided, take my time, wrap it in a couple sections, and I wouldn't have any issues. So like the top area right here is like one whole section. Then like this little this little piece is like one section. And then I wrapped this in the bottom, all one section. You can see, and nothing's coming up from here. This front end has seen some action with some cones, and you can tell that even hit some places, like you can tell right here it has some scuffs, that it didn't tear or rip or anything. That I say that comes down to my wood splitter, because it kind of takes most of the beating. This is my backup one, so it sits a little closer to the bumper. My other one sits about maybe 1.5 inches, a little further up, so it hits the cones or whatever first, and my bumper barely sees any damage with that. So I advise yourself to make the splitter. Starting with the front fender, you can see again the quality of this wrap. I mean, it sits, lays nice. You can just looking at that, you can barely tell it's wrap. It doesn't have any orange peel or anything on it. I did have some issues in this little section coming up where it kind of gets kind of tight. Again, I think that's due to me overly stretching it and pulling towards the edge and laying it down there instead of not doing that, right? Or pulling past the edge and then laying it, right? But that's pretty decent for the amount of work that you did for the car. And then we do have some damage right here, or a door where it's rubbing against the fender at one point in time when it got pushed back. This is a new fender, so this is newly wrapped. And I've wrapped, I took the embols off and I wrapped underneath it. So, and then on the door, you can see a lot of the scuffs, but again, nothing's wrong with the vinyl itself. Nothing's pilling or anything at the bottom. Let me open the door. And again, this is where you can see the vinyls laid down, and I used that 3M protective tape to go over it. You can barely see it. You probably won't be able to see it on film. I could barely see it with my own eyes, but this is the vinyl itself, and then a layer of 3M tape is over it to protect it for any pilling or anything like that. But yeah, I did wrap this door jamb area, and then I thought I was gonna cut this little section out for like my VIN and stuff, and I stopped and I was like, why am I doing that? So that's why that's there. But the only areas it's coming up in is in this area, kind of right here, and that's just me being a novice, wrapping. That's what happens, right? So next time when I wrap this section, I'll do a better job of that. And next time I'll wrap this area because it has some overspray from the cage. So I think I definitely want to wrap at least up to this part right here. Another area that sees a lot of action, I would say the rear quarter panels and the rear bumper area in this section. You can even see when the tire exploded, the wrap is still intact there. Nothing got ripped off, nothing tore. The bottom of this edging is kind of beat up a little bit, but to be honest with you, I think that might be the fiber. Yeah, that's like the fiberglass. If you see, it has like a little wrinkle, it looks like. But that's actually the fiberglass, the shape of it. Anyway, but yeah, you see all the edges are good. It did rub on the side of the tire, if you can see that. But overall, really good condition. These pillars, none of it's being pulled back. Same thing on the roof. Nothing's come back. For 5 years, I would say this is pretty good. To be honest with you, I never thought a vinyl wrap could hold up to the abuse as much. Granted, my car does not see everyday driving, so I don't drive it 365 days of the year. I don't, it pretty much gets driven maybe twice or 3 times a month, but at that, it gets driven hard. And at track, you got the track that has a lot of rock chips and stuff flying everywhere. So for the amount of stuff that's wrong with the wrap, I'm very impressed for the 5 years I've had it wrapped. Now this area is messed up a little bit, and that's mainly due to when I strapped down the tires on the back of the hatch. Wraps went around the hatch and kind of like rubbed against the vinyl, so it kind of peeled up back around here. But that's a given when I put that much stress on the wrap right there. Another area that sees a lot of action up and down is this trunk area. And as you can see, no vinyls coming up on any of it. Corners look good. Corners look good. The top of the bumper looks good. Nothing got peeled back there. This little lip spoiler was a pain to wrap. I wrapped it all in one piece, and I think going into wrapping it with the new color, I'm not gonna do it one piece. I'm gonna do the new color on top and probably a black on the bottom. Just give that contrast to match the spoiler, because I am gonna wrap the top of the spoiler again, just like I did this one, but it'll be the new color, obviously. This section right here is probably, I would say, my worst as a whole vehicle. The reason why is because in this area where the lights are, the lights move sometimes, and it just causes this area to peel back. Probably didn't do the best of the job to wrap this little area. We'll get better this next go around. The license plate area was a pain. I could never get this area to sit flush and match, so I just started cutting it, and I just said F it, and I left it like that. So this area is going to change anyway. I got something coming to go over this, so I won't necessarily have to wrap in underneath it. I'll just have to pretty much wrap it to the edges, and then have like a nice piece that's going right there. Show you that in the next video. When I wrapped the bumper, I did go all the way down to the back, pretty much all the way. My exhaust heat up some of it and heat up some of my bumper, it looks like, but for the most part it goes all the way back. None of it's pulling up anywhere, as you can see. And then I do have some stuff coming up right here, but hey, not too bad. Like I said, the Fender's got like a lot of it too, because my tire likes to rub when I'm on full throttle and I'm squatting. It touches my tire a lot, and you can tell we rubbed a little bit. It's a beauty mark right there. It's a beauty mark. I don't know if I ever told y'all this. I purchased some carbon fiber vinyl for these pillars right here. I didn't want to get any real one. I didn't really care, but these held up really nice, and they don't look too bad. Like if you just looked at it, you'd be like, oh, that kind of looks like carbon fiber. Obviously it's not, but it flows. It works good. It's better than spending all the money for some carbon fiber little pieces. Let's talk about the side mirror. This piece on the other side, I wrapped it in one piece, and areas around here did not turn out the best. So on this one, I wrapped it in a couple pieces. You probably can see the little cut line right here, but I wrapped like the top piece, the middle piece, or maybe I wrapped like this piece, yeah. And then I wrapped the bottom of it, and then I laid over it. This is probably with the line. You can see that's the tape, the 3M tape, just in case this area decided to come up. I probably won't use it for next time, just because I don't want to see that 3M tape or anything. And I don't think it's going to come up. And then right here, it's coming up a lot, not a lot, but a little. And that's just due for all the moving around. Inside here hasn't come up at all. I did remove the glass, the mirror, and then I tucked it underneath there, and I just trimmed it. It came up pretty good. Gotta love these. Getting some new one of these, so to flow with the new theme. Everywhere where my fender screws are screwed into, none of it's ripped or come up. I've taken this fender off a couple of times. The same with the rear. Maybe on once, maybe not, maybe a couple times, like 3 times. But the front I've taken off quite a bit. and I don't see any type of wear or tear around there. There's the vinyl's kind of spinning with the screw a little bit right there, but not too bad. On my hood, I did have to re-drill this little section, so where the vinyl sits, I kind of messed up and didn't do it properly. When I did the cut into the vinyl. It wasn't the vinyl itself, it was user error. But there you have it. That's what a 5-year-old Wrap looks like for drifting, driving on the street, to the track, from the track. Doesn't look too bad. I would have to say, not too bad. So, y'all be prepared for the new color. I placed an order on it at the end of this month. So hopefully it gets here in time for the first event of the year. If not, we're planning for the next one, but it should be here. It should, cross your fingers, it should. Yeah, so be on the lookout for the new Wrap that's gonna come. I can't wait to show y'all what I'm working on with my vision and what I have for the front wheels and all that. Just can't wait, can't wait. I think it's gonna be a new look, new year. It's gonna be really good, but hope y'all enjoyed that little quick video. If you had any questions, comments about the Wrap, the HEXIS Wrap, hit me up in the comment section. I'll be glad to help you and answer it. And I'm going to shoot a video of me removing this Wrap and showing you how difficult it is to remove a 5-year-old Wrap, what happens to the paint underneath. Stay tuned to that video. Thanks, y'all. Thanks for watching. Please like, comment, subscribe. And until next time, y'all. Peace.